Hey everyone, this is Verdilit here, and today we're bringing you a Pokemon battle from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Now, this is an in-game team, but they're all EV trained except for the legendaries, which is the Kyogre and the Groudon. So, both me and my bro, we bred these teams and made them level 5, and we just played through the game with them. It was so much fun. So we decided to fight it out. Kind of not a serious battle, but at the same time it's competitive because all of these, like I said, are very competitive Pokemon besides the Groudon and the Kyogre. So my bro Ziad is issuing a challenge. He leads off with Teresa the Chandelure. I lead off with Let's Dance the Gallade. Unfortunately, I can't actually do anything to him since he's maybe I think we're both speed tie, but Shadow Ball would completely destroy me. So I'll go into the Pokemon with the best special defense, and to my surprise, this was literally the first time I used it. Kyogre just Mega Evolves on the spot, which is kind of ridiculous. I didn't even click a button or anything. Just on the switch, it evolved all by itself before taking the hit. So that's good because I get the special defense boost. I think it gets the special defense, but I am not sure. So I goes for Shadow Ball, and this does way too much. Like I said, these Pokemon are EV trained, so Shadow Ball does a bit of damage. Now he goes into his Groudon, and as we saw before, on the spot they Mega Evolve. So the sun is here, and as if you don't know the effect, I literally can't use any water moves against him when the sun is up. So I predicted him to go into his Groudon like he does right now, and I pulled off the double switch because going for a water move would be completely useless because the sun was just evaporated. So I go into my Gregory, the what do you call it? The Gabite, because I can actually go for Earthquake and hurt him, and I can probably live any single hit. Like I said, it's EV trained, unlike the legendaries. So it goes into his Crystal, the Starmie, and this Earthquake does really good chunk of damage. I decided to switch out, and the reason these Pokemon are not evolved is because we're still playing. We haven't challenged the Elite Four yet. So I go into my Smirk, the Luminion, I think that's the name, and I take the Ice Beam decently. Now, he does not know my moveset, but in all honesty, I couldn't even touch him because all I had was Surf and Waterfall. So he goes into his Dragonair, and this is a threat because he has Dragon Dance. I used to have Ice Beam, but I deleted it for Dive. You know, this game requires you to use a lot of HMs. So I switch out, go into my Let's Dance because it's the least useful member against his team. And plus, if he decides to get greedy, I have Ice Punch. So I go into my Let's Dance. So basically, I'm putting pressure just not to let him Dragon Dance again. He goes for Outrage, and this Outrage kills me on the spot. There's no way I'd live that, especially since Gallade does not have the best physical defense. So I go down, go into my Pursuer. He's locked into a Dragon move, so I am Steel type. And guys, do not underestimate this thing. The damage is crazy. Look at this. It almost takes him out, but it fell short because, you know, it's not Life Orb or anything. We don't have items. So this does more than half, which is kind of crazy. I go for another Sucker Punch, take him out, and yeah, that was very good for me. Goes back into his Groudon, bringing the sun, and the thing about Groudon is that it does not go for fire moves, it goes for ground moves. So every time I send Kyogre, I actually can't use like my main stab is Surf, his main stab is a ground move, which is a great advantage for him. So he goes for something, which misses against my Gregory, the Gabite. Like, that was lucky because maybe I would have lived with red health or died, I have no idea. So I go for Earthquake, he goes into his Alcapon. I really didn't know that he had something that was above the ground. I go for Outrage, and this barely takes him out, and to my surprise I even outspeed. Like I said, we're both EV trained, but I managed to outspeed even though I am Naughty Nature, which means plus attack minus defense. So it goes for Brave Bird, and Rough Skin takes him out, so that's a double down. So far I'm loving this battle because you know, it's not super competitive, but at the same time it's really fun. No items, no shit. So going to my King Verdi, the Nidoking, predicting him to go into his Groudon. He does exactly that, because if you both go into our legendaries, he'll have the advantage, because I think Groudon is slower, and he'll have the sun up, which means he'll be the one dominating with the weather. So he's forced to switch out, and the sun goes into his Crystal to sacrifice it, because he thinks it's the least useful member to his team, since Sucker Punch from what do you call it, from Ponyard would actually take it out. So Earthquake takes him out. He goes into his King Verde, which is, by the way, this is his nickname, not mine. I am not that narcissistic. Because, you know, Nidoking and Verdilite, and it's my favorite Pokemon, so I go into Smirk just to sacrifice it, because it really can't do anything with Groudon around, since I have Waterfall, Dive, and Surf, and with Groudon, these moves are just walled. So he goes for a Thunderbolt, and the reason I switched my Nidoking out is because I thought he was Timid nature, and I was Adamant nature, so the advantage was for him, because he will be faster and he can one-shot me with Earth Power. This is why I switched out. So I go into my Kyogre, very high special defense, I can take a Thunderbolt and retaliate, but he decided to switch out, and this time, I completely forgot that I had Ice Beam, so I went for the only move that can actually damage Groudon, which is the Double Edge. I mean, the Body Slam. Yes, I go for Body Slam, and this does nothing, but I was hoping for the Paralysis, and I get the Paralysis, which would give me slight advantage against this thing. And then he was like, why did you go for Ice Beam? I'm like, holy shit, I have Ice Beam. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that next time. So I switch out, go into my Pursuer, hoping that he'd be paralyzed or something, or if not, I'm just sacking it off, since without the Starmie, I'm not all that useful. So it goes for this crazy-ass move with a crazy-ass animation and just taking out the Ponyard. That was kind of crazy. And, I mean, the animation itself with the sun. So I go into my Vow to Conquer. And right now, I am faster, and one water would kill him, since I think he's Ground and Fire right now. So he switches out, fearing obviously the water move. Goes into his Teresa, sacking it off, because it has no use with the... even though actually the sun does not stay, so it doesn't benefit from the harsh sun. So you just go for Origin Pulse and take it out. Obviously with the rain and everything, it's so dead. So he goes into his Groudon. At this point, if I switch into my Nidoking, I'm just gonna die. So I decided to stay in and just go for Ice Beam. So I go for Ice Beam. Like I said, I just discovered that I had Ice Beam. I can't go for my Water move again if you didn't notice. The ability cancels any Water moves. As long as the harsh sun is up, I can't use any water moves. As long as the rain is up, he can't use any fire moves. This is why I keep saying that his Groudon has an advantage. But he gets paralyzed, unfortunately for him, or he could have taken me out from this range easily. But he gets paralyzed. I go for Ice Beam, and now he goes into his King Verde, which he actually confessed to me, since it was too late, that he's actually modest and not timid. So we're at that speed tie. He goes for Thunderbolt. I am immune to it. And right now, I go for Earthquake, and I actually outspeed, and I get lucky again by winning the speed tie and take him out. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. It was just a fun, short, non-competitive battle. Like I said, these Pokemon are extremely powerful. They helped us with the story. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to tune in for the next battle, and see ya.